Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of American Heroes Outdoors.
This week we are in Alaska. We made it. We are at the KENAI Riverbend Resort up in Soldotna, Alaska. And we're going to be fishing with some great veterans up here that I served with during my first deployment to Iraq in 2005. And I tell you what, it is a lot of fishing, a lot of action, a lot of rain. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And on top of that, we get to do it all with our good friends from Mandatory Fun Outdoors. And then lastly, we're going to honor our next Scheels hometown hero, Paul Weckman.
So stay tuned.
American Heroes Outdoors shares the stories of our nation's true heroes, a documentation of journey, commitment, struggle, and healing. A glimpse into the sacrifice and bravery of our service men and women. This is American Heroes Outdoors.
Hey everybody, Dan Tangle from Mandatory Fun Outdoors. It is about 8:45 on Sunday the 14th of August. We are getting ready to fly off to Anchorage, Alaska. 3 days of fishing, 1 day of halibut, 2 days of salmon fishing in the Kenai River. This trip is really special. These guys that are coming with all deserve that outdoor therapy. It's just going to be on steroids because it's in Alaska. Absolutely jacked. And they are boarding the plane right now, so we are going to go. We'll see you in Alaska. We're in baggage claim number 5 and we're waiting for our vehicle, so let's go.
Your purse, a key?
Heavy,
now, you know.
Heavy.
Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to Ninilchik Deep Creek, American Heroes Alaska style. First time we've been up here. Got 4 vets on the boat, you know, great Minnesota vets, and we're gonna get out and fish some halibut today. Kind of cool. If you've never been on a tractor launch, we're gonna get some video of that going out, and then we're gonna go catch some fish. So welcome aboard.
Super excited. I don't even know how to fish. I don't know how these guys are keeping it calm. This is awesome.
Army did so much for me, people-wise, learning-wise, and it was the only constant in my life for so long. Like, I just loved it, so I just did it.
Those are loaded, right? Nice. Oh, there you go. White. That's the fish on. Fish on. That one just took it.
First one, the one to Iraq in '04. I was a squad leader. I was in part of 2nd Platoon Charlie Battery. The worst part about that deployment, you know, was obviously February 21st. That's when Day and Lhotka and Timmerman got blown up and killed. And then myself, we had close calls. December 14th, my convoy was hit by a V-bed. 7HE blew over the top of my Humvee. I reached up, pulled my gunner down, patted out the fire. October 17th, about 15 feet from us, I had a rocket land right next to me. So survived that and got home, I guess. And a lot of issues came from that one. For me personally, I came back a very angry person. I mean, I did. It without a doubt, it cost me my marriage. I mean, that's on me, I own that. But that led up to my second deployment in '09. And I always tell everyone that's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. In 2009, I deployed again. With that, I found who I really was. I got back into the Bible, I got back into running, and back into being a better person, and I haven't left that person behind. And one thing I've learned is my story is shared. Like, I don't keep it in anymore. Like I did that was one of my biggest mistakes. When I came back, I had a lot of anger, a lot of fear, and I just kept it bottled in. And in 09, I learned, like, no, like, you got to share this stuff, Doug. Like, what's happened to you it's life changing, so let it go change other lives. So, tough wall to put down, because I didn't want to do it. Tangwell knew the magic button. He went through my daughter, and she talked me into going on this trip, so, which it's amazing to have someone be that young and that bright. But just go. Like, people want you to go. You've earned it, you have, and not every scar is visible, right? So everyone's got demons, everyone's got all this, so go on the trips. If you got the extra money, donate it to the cause, right? It's worth it. It's life-changing, so let it go change other lives.
American Heroes Outdoors is brought to you by Skeeter Boats and Yamaha Outboards, Scheels, Smoky Hills Outdoor Store and Ice Castle Fish Houses, Woodland Resort, Disabled American Veterans, Ottertail Lakes Country, S&S Promotional Group, Innovative Sign and Graphics, Tacticab, and Base Camp Country Real Estate.
We're missing a lot. We are missing a bunch of fish. You know, we've had a lot of bites, and current's been pretty strong. It's starting to slow down a little bit now, but we got 2 overs, 2 unders in the box right now. The overs aren't real big ones, but they're nice ones. So we'll just keep plugging away here, but we have missed a lot of fish. We really have.
Stay focused, Kev. You're doing great. I had the tiger.
Hey, here he is.
Here he is.
Leader.
Okay, stop.
Cheers.
They're kind of like hanging because the tide's backing off and the fish is kind of, okay, get ready, go, 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 fast.
It looks like it at the end, but
All right, good deal.
Nice and easy. Steady. Steady as she goes.
okay, now I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
All right. Just stay with it. You're doing fine.
Yep.
Focus.
Remember, stop at the swivel.
Okay.
Getting real close.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Keep going, stop right there. Perfect. That's a good small air.
Nice job,
Let's
Tango.
hope.
Nice job.
He's a good one. He's a good fighter.
Stay focused. Yeah, baby. Stay like that. Stay focused.
Woo!
Grab the one. Yeah. Stop at the lead.
Stop at the lead in the water. Got it.
Don't let him get flack.
So in 1991, I was what they would refer to as a traditional National Guardsman. As the years went on, and then the 9/11 happened, and then ultimately following with that, it was January 1st of 2005, I stepped on the ground of Baghdad, Iraq.
Woo! Arms are burning, boys! Arms are burning! This is no joke. Keep up the good work. Zip up, walk there. We'll get two. That's just
February 21st, 2005. It was any other normal day. So what happened was this big explosion, and then I was blown into the ditch of the 2-lane highway. After I, kind of got my scruples together and I turned around and looked, all I could see was this big dust cloud, and unfortunately 3 of our soldiers that day were killed instantly during the blast. A couple more were injured pretty bad, so we provided first aid, put on tourniquets. It was a pretty tough day. So yeah, that would have been my first taste, if you want to call it, of combat. Talking to fellow vets that have probably seen the same thing or endured the same experiences would be very helpful. You know, time has a way of healing. However, I found it very helpful to talk to my fellow leaders, my peers, but I did go outside. I went to professional help, and I still go to professional help. And I encourage soldiers that have seen combat. I've encouraged soldiers that have honestly just had to deal with life, because life's not easy, to go and seek that treatment. Nobody's too proud or too tough, I guess, is what I would say.
We are at Kenai Riverbend Resort, right on the most fabulous fishing waters, and the most popular water in Alaska is the Kenai River. We're at River Mile 14, in between Kenai and Soldotna, 2 towns. Thank you to all the veterans out there too. As always, you know, we maybe don't say it enough, but we're with you. You know, the Americans are with you for all you do and have done. God bless you.
Welcome back to the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska. Scott St. Sauver with American Heroes Outdoors. Obviously, we're working with Mandatory Fun Outdoors up here. We got a bunch of vets just getting ready to go out salmon fishing today. Weather's a lot different than yesterday. There's some wind, there's a lot of rain, but the salmon are pushing up the river, and I guess the guys are gonna have a great time. So they're heading out right now, getting in the boat, so looking forward to having a great day.
There we go. Now he doesn't like it.
Now he smelled the boat.
Salmon was fun. The weather's a little different. It's raining and kind of windy, but I kind of dig the salmon fishing. It's a little more action. You're kind of always waiting for that bite. Like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And then it happens. And it's a little more action. And I'm in love with the salmon fishing. That's for sure.
Some little in there. There you go. Atta kid.
It was just great to connect again, and we all have this, you know, this common thing that we all got to go through together. So it was awesome that it just happened, it just happened, and I'm glad it all worked out. We all got to see each other again. We've talked nonstop since we got here. So yeah, just great experience, even just in general, just getting together. It didn't matter if we were in Alaska or in Morris, Minnesota, you know. It was just great to see these guys, great to get back together and kind of reunite a little bit. Sometimes it's not bad to be uncomfortable. Maybe you just go for it. Maybe you get a little uncomfortable. Maybe that's the thing to do. And you know, when you're uncomfortable, you start to grow a little bit, and more opportunities show up. You know, if you just put yourself out there a little bit, to be uncomfortable, maybe a little vulnerable. You know, sometimes a lot of good things come from that. If you're just patient and you just put yourself out there and try to put yourself into situations that make you a little uncomfortable, and some real positive things can come out of that.
Coming into this week, I wasn't really sure what to expect, because these are a group of soldiers that I served with in some pretty difficult situations, and they've been through some pretty difficult times. That tends to be pretty emotional. Some pretty good stories, you know, along the way. Some are hilarious, and you forget about them. You actually forget about them until until you come up here and you sit down and you reminisce, and all of a sudden you're talking about something that happened 17, 18 years ago. That's been pretty good for me, as well as I think for them. If you deployed and you went somewhere that you couldn't be with your family and you missed a holiday, if you missed a deer season, if you missed some special part with a child, then you deserve these things. These are the way people want to pay you back. So if you're out there and you haven't taken advantage because you don't think you're qualified, then you're wrong. You're just simply wrong. You didn't pick your position, the Army did, or the Navy did, or the Air Force did. You were assigned that job and you went and did that job. Find somebody and grab a hold and say, hey, how do I sign up? Because you deserve it, and you should go and experience it because life's too short. And you get to know people that you thought you knew to a new level. Welcome back to the show.
And now it's time for our next Scheels hometown hero, Paul Weckman.
Every day I got to help veterans out and help maybe connect the dots, point them in the right direction, network with other veteran service organizations, and work with partners like Scheels as well.
Welcome to Scheels Hometown Heroes.
Scheels Hometown Heroes is a way for us to say thanks to those that serve our country and our community.
And are still giving back to others today.
We honor your service by sharing your stories.
From all of us at Scheels, thank you for your service.
Congratulations, Paul.
Thanks, man.
You bet. Good to see you again. Mr. Paul Weckman, as a former employee of Scheels, most of us know your dedication and commitment to hard work. Well, you were nominated and selected as a Scheels Hometown Hero because your dedication, commitment to America's women, servicemen, and veterans, and all that you've done for them throughout your years, careers, and all your volunteer work. So thank you. We got a small award here for you and a little plaque. So I want to congratulate you and thank you. Thank you, sir. Good job, buddy. We all remember the motto, one team, one fight, right?
I grew up in Mankato, Minnesota, 2.5 hours to the east of here, and lived there until I graduated from college. And from that point on, that's when I joined the Navy and served for 26 years on active duty. Moved, me personally, about 17 times during those 26 years. And then, of course, my family came along a little bit later, and they moved with me wherever I went.
A military spouse. I think it was hard on our kids. When you are in the military, sometimes you are called a geo-bachelor, where if you have kids and maybe you're only going to be in a spot for 2 years or 3 years, your family may stay home, you know, where you're from or whatever. We chose as a family, it was always important to be together and travel. So we did 12, 13, maybe 14 moves. I can't remember off the top of my head. And we always did move as a family. I think it was harder on our boys.
Growing up, we moved every 2 to 3 years, so obviously he was doing a good enough job for him to get promotions, raise in rank. His responsibilities, I noticed from the bases we'd go to, that they'd be getting bigger, in control of more people. The one thing that made me proud is that, not the fact that, you know, anyone can be in charge of people, but to have the people, your peers, your subordinates respect you and would do anything for you, that is a huge thing that I know in the military, just I guess every world life that I can respect, and I think a lot of people can respect too, is having those people.
So I continued to excel and do well, and made it all the way to the ranks to a Navy captain, like it's the same as a full bird colonel. There's physical and there's mental challenging as well, as you know, when you're away from your family, or not being able to see your firstborn son or even your second one, and you know, and not being there when you're deployed, you know, and that can be very challenging, thinking of, you know, your family back home, and for them as well. Physically, though, I think sometimes the scariest, if you want to call it, the event is driving a ship in a hurricane in the Pacific Ocean, and 65 to 80 foot swells, we call them, you know, waves. I was driving the ship during that, and you know, when you got 150 mile an hour winds coming across, and you're not even, you know, going full speed ahead and you're only making about 1 knot good, knowing that if you don't make steerage way, as they call it, you turn sideways, your ship can roll and capsize, and something like that is not like a 5-second deal or a 1 minute type of an experience. You're talking hours and hours and hours, and I think that was probably one of the most, if you want to call it, scariest times, where it was kind of life and death, you know, for a long period of time until you could kind of get away and get out of that storm. And a whole crew of hundreds and hundreds of people. Yeah, it was crazy, the structural damage that was done too. You get those sustained winds. It's kind of like driving through a tornado for hours, not just minutes or seconds.
He is a good servant, and I think it's his faith is very grounded, and that's a lot of it. With all the moves, to have that, because we always were grounded because of him.
Besides, I guess, caring for her family, he's always had the drive to help vets. So that's even before his job at Sanford that he currently has, where he helps veterans who work there and figure it out. Before that, I mean, he would take people out, you know, to go hunting or fishing or help people like that. Before he was part of any organization or whatever, he would just offer to help.
I don't think Paul's not happy unless he is helping somebody. He's not the type who's just going to sit home. He's going to do what he can to help things, and whether it's Wounded Warriors or, like you said, Folds of Honor, Wings of Valor. It's part of those different outdoor groups that use the outdoors for therapeutic for a lot of the veterans. So,
and so that's one thing great about this. I don't really call it a job, it's more of a calling, where every day I got to help veterans out and help maybe connect the dots, point them in the right direction. Unfortunately, you know, we have over 20 veterans a day kill themselves through suicide. And so if we can do a better job of identifying those veterans that maybe need help, provide them the best care, and maybe we can save a few lives in doing that as well. So that's another bucket that I got to fill is how we can better take care of our veterans when they're coming to Sanford Health for work.
Wow, Scott, that was truly an awesome episode. Never been to Alaska, but I had a front row seat to some great fishing right there.
Well, now you have a reason to go. You got to get back up there because, as you saw, it's just nonstop action. And next week, we're headed out to Lake Erie. I believe you got to work, but that's okay. I'll be headed out there, and we're going to spend some time with Recon Outdoors. Lake Erie fishing, man. Big trolling, catching a lot of fish, a lot of action, big waves. Gotta love it. Stay tuned.
Look forward to it.